G'day there guys, Diesel from Get Around Oz, camper trailer traveller. Let's get into it. Portable, been able to charge it wherever you are. There we go. Rightio, so what we have here is the BLUETTI EB3A portable power charging station. It has a lithium battery in it, 8 output ports. It cranks it up. None of this is scripted. This is a 60 litre fridge. Rightio, I'm back. As you can see, I've gathered up a few more things here. Now with all those things going at the moment, it's actually showing a usage of that's about enough, I reckon. Kind of made my point. G'day there guys, Diesel from Get Around Oz, camper trailer traveller. Thanks for joining us today. Coming up in today's video, we're going to product review this one here, which is a portable power station. Grab yourself a coldie or a cuppa. Let's get into it. Cheers. So I just want to start out today's video and let you know I did receive this unit for free from BLUETTI in return for this review video. They got no creative control over what's going on. They don't know what I'm actually going to talk about here today. And with that in mind, that basically means I've got something for free. I'm going to give this a hiding. At the end of the day, if something goes wrong, you know, I'm no worse off anyway. You know, my honest thoughts are sort of straight off. I reckon this is going to be really good for us, but anyway, we'll go through the video and we'll see how we go, eh? Anyway, let's bloody open this thing up. The box is pretty neat, I've got to say. So this one here, so I'll try and turn it around that way for you. Got the cables. Now this one here, it comes with the 240 volt power cable there, which is a kettle plug. So if you lose that one, kettle plugs you can buy from any sort of electronics store. And it comes with this one here, which is the solar cable, okay? Now this one here doesn't come with the solar panel on its own. You can buy it in a kit on the website with the solar panel. I don't remember what the prices are, but you can check that out, I think. BLUETTI do a 120 watt and a 200 watt panel. I'll chuck them up the screen. But one thing I will point out, and I might cover it off in a little bit, was with the two cables there, the one it doesn't come with is the car charger, which is the 6-socket cable basically. Now that one is available on their website. I think it was 19 bucks. I'll chuck them up on the screen now. You can buy it separately, but for me, portable, being able to charge it wherever you are, can only be a good thing. So that's something I reckon that, you know, they've missed the trick. There we go. Other than that, all you really got in here is the instruction manual and all the warranty info, sorry. Now warranty wise, this thing here comes with a 2-year warranty, which is, in my opinion, really good. I think a lot of electronics makers or manufacturers, it's a bit of a cop-out, I reckon, the way a lot of them just put on 12-month warranty. So I think the fact it's got a 2-year warranty out of the box says a bit about the confidence in the product. But for me, personally, I reckon that's a good start, that's for sure. Rightio, so what we have here is the BLUETTI EB3A portable power charging station. This one here has a lithium battery in it. Now it's rated to do over 2,500 recharges, which will charge at least up to 80%. And it's also got a 600 watt pure sine wave inverter built into it as well. So via this one here, it'll give you AC or 240 volt charging for electronics. So this one has 8 output ports. The first one I show is on the top here, which is a 15 watt wireless charging section up here, when I've tested it out, it really hasn't had to be, you know, too accurate as in regards to where I put my phone. So sort of anywhere in the section there, that one works. Only thing I will say is, and I'm just going to say it now in case I forget to mention it a bit later on, when this has been sort of charging up here and I've been running the inverter, for example, like I said, yeah, in regards to charging the laptop, this one does get a bit warm, okay? And it did get warm to the point where it actually stopped working, okay? So that's something to be aware of. However, when I wasn't using the inverter, would be no surprise, I guess, without the inverter, this thing wasn't getting so warm. So in regards to using this one here and all the other things, it would be fine. Well, it was fine, sorry. But just keep that in mind when using the two. That one there sort of wasn't quite as functional as I would have liked it. DC port wise, got the 12 volt 6 socket here. This one here has the two 10 amp 12 volt DC ports here. We've got the two USB-C ports. Now they're 3 amp. We've got the USB-C, which is 100 watts, which is pretty bloody powerful. We've got the light on the front there as well. In regards to that one has 3 modes, but when I get in the app and I'll sort of show you how that works. And it's also got the 240 or the AC port there for charging as well. Now with this one here, each section can be turned off, on and off as you need to, which is, for example, you can see the screen there. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'll go through that in a bit, but for example, just hit the button to actually sort of bring it on really, and turn it on again, which will turn it on, and then same thing for the light there. There you go, you got the demo of what the light does. And the same thing for the 240 volt there, so just a double tap and it turns that one on there. And then obviously these ones here, you've got the AC kettle plug charging there to plug her into the wall, and that one there is where you would plug in the sort of 6 socket into your car or camper trailer or whatever it might be. Now charging wise, a bit going on here, and a few different ways you can do it, but there's actually 6 to be exact. The first one is via solar panel. You plug it in there, and this one's obviously got the connections that go to the BLUETTI panel. Now 200 watt panel is the highest amount of wattage you can use to charge this one. Now charging off 240 volt via this one here, you can do it in turbo modes. There's actually 3 modes. You've got turbo, which will take you 1 hour, but clearly that puts a bit of extra stress on this unit. You can charge it normal mode, which is about 1.5 to 2 hours, and then obviously you got solar mode, which is anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5. Now what solar mode does is it stops the fan, you know, in regards to noise. So if you've got a bit of time and you're putting it on next to where you sleep and all that sort of stuff, that'll be the option there. This can also charge with AC and PV charging simultaneously with a maximum of 430 watts. What that means is you can charge it via this one here, plug it into your 240 volt power point wall socket, and this one here charging off your solar panels. Now this one here has an MPPT DC-DC charger built into it, which makes all that work for you. But don't forget as well, if you've got the cable to plug this one into your car socket or your 6 socket in your car or your camper trailer like us, for example, depending on the type of ratings, you know, power you got in your socket there, could be 1.5 hours, it could be 3.5 hours, sort of depends on what you're going. But you know, that's all the charging bases covered. Don't forget, if you've got a generator as well, that's another way you can do it. Now this does have a UPS bypass mode built into it. That stands for uninterrupted power source. What that means is you can plug the 240 volt power into there, and you can use all the other sockets, including this one here, all at the same time. With the power being uninterrupted, that means the inverter in this one is actually turned off, and therefore it obviously comes in and it goes straight out the way it was intended. Now storage wise, the size of this thing is actually pretty small, pretty portable. Obviously it's got a nice little handle there. Weight wise it's 4.6 kilos, so whether you're choosing to store it for use or put it away somewhere for emergency use, it could fit, you know, pretty easily into most places without too many problems, or keep the box and take it there and it won't take up a lot of room. Back online, the camera overheated before and we're firing this up again, but it's time now to show you the BLUETTI Bluetooth app. We're tapping him there, and so you can see here it's all very simple. The top two sort of circuits there, you got PV and grid, so that's obviously the power coming in and charging, but you can see this little lines going down there, so we've got the DC and the AC power. So again, like the screen, you get a fairly good idea of what you're using and, you know, and how much power you're chewing. Obviously you can sort of click on the DC and AC sort of settings there to turn them off and on as you please. But I'm going to turn those on, and you sort of just hear it click in there as well. Up the top right there, we go into settings, and this is sort of where you probably spend most of the time. Eco, I think I touched on that before. You can actually set it to 4 hours there, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. I personally have this one set on because I'm fairly likely to walk away and forget to turn it off. Now, LED light, obviously you can see over here, so got the medium option there, the higher option, and the SOS option there. Hopefully you never need that, but I'll just flick that one off there. Charging modes. So with turbos, you can see there, it cranks it up. Obviously to make it charge faster, but clearly whenever you do that, you are putting more pressure on the unit itself. So just consider, you know, whether you do that or you don't. Clearly you probably only do that if you needed to. And silent as well. We'll see it slows down the fan speed to reduce noise. I won't click that, but what I will say is the fan on this is actually reasonably noisy. I guess it's got a decent sized fan, or it's reasonably powerful to effectively cool down a battery and stop it from overheating, which is great, but it is quite noisy. So if this is something you're going to charge overnight, you know, to make sure it's ready for the next day, the silent option would be the go for you. Powerlifting, you can see what it says there. You would obviously use this one if you wanted to try and stretch this thing and run a higher power device and sort of push it a bit more than you probably would like to. So, but obviously it does note there, don't use, you know, refrigerators or air conditioners, but I'm not sure why you would anyway. And also you can do firmware upgrades in there as well. So all in all, just clicking back on the screen there now, the app is very simple to use and very functional. So for me, I actually really like that. So I reckon that's enough of the tech talk and all the tech stuff now. To me personally, while the tech stuff is important and the specs are important, it's less interesting for me. I'm more interested in the practical side of things. Now, while I've used this for some bits and pieces around the house, I haven't really tested this thing out. So when I come back, I'm going to have a heap of bloody gear here. I'm doing this for the first time with you, but at the end of the day, if I was to use this out camping, this is the sort of stuff I would use it for, and I reckon most people would as well. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part of the video for me. None of this is scripted. I basically just grabbed a few things that I know myself I need for charging, and these are things that I would need to charge if I was camping. This is a 60 litre fridge. Power rating this one is 55 watts, so that one is actually sort of cooled down to temperature, okay, so I did want to just plug it in and you're trying to heat up from warm. Starting off at 92% and 30 hours, so on the screen there it's not actually showing anything at this point because it's sort of holding temperature, but we'll see how we go once we start plugging a few things in. There we go, get the drone batteries plugged in. We'll chuck the phone on the top there. Let's try the drone remote in the USB-C. And we'll plug him in. The drone batteries. It's currently using 102 watts at the moment, so it's rated to as it is, I guess. I mean, that'll charge once the fridge actually kicks in. It's actually saying it's going to last 2.2 hours. It's pretty comfortably handling all those things, which is pretty cool. So in our camper trailer, we actually use 2 of these things. Would have been a better demo if I hadn't actually cooled this one down before, but anyone wondering, there you go. You can definitely to run a fridge, no problem at all. Plug him in and turn him on. So output's still at 107 watts, I'll just crank him up a bit. So let's run this thing flat out at the moment. It's currently drawing 124 watts there at the moment, so at 124 watts, it's saying it's got about 1.8 hours with a use left in it. Because I feel like I haven't tested this enough, okay. I'm going to grab an adapter and I'm going to plug a couple more things on here and we'll see how much more we can push this thing. Rightio, I'm back. As you can see, I've gathered up a few more things here. So what I'm going to do now is just checking that. So it's 85% now. It's been maybe 10 minutes since I walked off before, and it's still about 1.8 hours, which I remember it being. Now I've got the fan still running flat out, and it has been the whole time. So what we might do is let's plug in this. Rightio, so I might first plug in the laptop, which is this one here. So this is Anita's laptop. With the fridge here, I grabbed the 240 volt adapter here. We'll plug that in. Okay, so he's going now. So it's about 120. Plug the drone charger back in. So that'll kick in a second. Then we'll plug in the other GoPro batteries here, which is for this GoPro I'm using here. Alright, so up to 180 watts. So 190 is sort of where it's peaked at the moment. Now again, the laptop here definitely needs charge. All these GoPros here, batteries definitely charge. That's charging. That is charging. The drone battery's charging. It's only half charged. Where's the cat? Everything's going here. We've got the fan running flat out, and we've got the fridge going as well, which again is a 60-litre fridge. Now with all those things going at the moment, it's actually showing a usage of about 220 to 240 watts worth of usage. And it's saying it could run all those for about an hour. Obviously, I forgot to mention it's got the phone on the top there as well. And there was one thing I forgot to grab here. I'll take out the GoPro battery charger. Probably going to use the least amount. This big old fan here, yeah, it's very unlikely to ever take it with me camping, but sitting around outside having a few drinks in summer, this definitely comes out, that's for sure. So we'll plug him in. Now I'll just turn this one on again. That's running flat out now as well. And again, it's still using about 200 watts, so it hasn't made much of a difference. So yeah, still about 1 hour worth of usage. But I reckon that's about enough, I reckon. Kind of made my point with all this sort of stuff going on. Recently we've been doing a lot of off-grid camping, and unfortunately when we're there, like, you know, I've sort of said to you, I don't like to use a lot of electronics, but there is times when you need to, you know, especially overnight. Like if I've been out filming all day, either with the drone or the GoPro, I like to transfer everything off that night. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions, okay? I did my best to try and answer any scenarios involving camping or traveling. But if I haven't covered off something that you might want to know about, or might be thinking, or maybe this has prompted something in your mind, chuck in the comments and let me know. Hopefully I can help you out, and hopefully this video has helped you out. My thoughts on this thing are, I think with everything I've done here, I'm pretty surprised. I definitely didn't think you could do all these things, and there's very little chance. I would use all these things camping. Yes, this is all camping stuff, and I use it different times. But the thought of actually sort of running all these things at the same time is clearly ridiculous, and it was fun to do for the sake of this video, but this for us is actually going to be really good. And other than the cable, the car 6-socket charger cable, it doesn't come with it, and the fan can be a bit noisy. And I mentioned to you at the start that this gets warm. I think it's a really good unit for the price it is, and if I wasn't given this, there's a very good chance the time was going to come when I would need to get something like this. I really like it, and I'm really happy I got it. I've got to be completely honest. Thank you to the BLUETTI team for reaching out and giving me the chance to do this. It was fun. I really didn't know what was going to happen, this one here, but for me, we're definitely going to use this, and we're going to enjoy it, that's for sure. Look, I hope you have a good day and a good week wherever you are. For me, I'm going to go jump on and watch the footy now after I packed up all this bloody gear here, which I didn't think I was going to get out, but I got a bit carried away. Thanks for watching. If you're a regular follower of our channel and this is another video you've tuned in to watch, thank you. You guys are awesome, and it's super motivating for you guys tuning in every week and give me feedback. I love it. So please, yeah, keep it coming. And if you're new to the channel, it's the first time you checked us out, sorry. Would love it if you jumped in and checked out some other videos and chuck in some feedback and let me know what you thought as well. I'm Diesel for Getting Around Oz, Camper Trailer Traveling. We'll catch the next one. Hooroo.